all starts or ends for many. Those who park here, or those who need a quick espresso before or after their ride.
You might even find a familiar YouTube face in this cafe. But for most of us, trying to fit what training we can into our tight London schedules, then the key starting point is at the start of the Tour of Richmond Park segment.
I have divided this video up into sections based on the Strada segments they're in.
Richmond Park enjoys quite an iconic status as a cycling destination. A bit like Central Park does in New York, not because there are particularly spectacular cycling routes, although they have their attractions, especially Richmond Park with its deer, but because an often overlooked fact for cyclists of all levels is the fact of motivation. And sometimes your motivation has to overcome the fact that there are still many people out there who drive like it's the Wild West, and you should just be careful of Billy Bob because he's a mean drunk, and we need to change that. And Richmond Park is, and like any large cycling route of 10 kilometres or more within a large urban area or close to the centre of a large urban area, it allows you to pursue and maintain your sport largely unaffected by bad driving. Don't get me wrong, you will still get close passes in Richmond Park. Most of the time, people drive okay, and it's a short circuit, so if you do it clockwise, like most of the riders do, you don't have any junctions where a car can pull out in front of you. And that is important because we really underestimate, and non-cyclists really underestimate, just how much motivation is required on a day-to-day basis, not just to get out there and ride, but sometimes just psychologically to get past that barrier of every day there are a large amount of people in cars, buses, trucks and taxis who seem to think that their phone call or their text or whatever it is on their mind is more important than the lives of others. And that has to change. And while it doesn't change, Richmond Park is not just a great set of segments on Zwift or on Strava or something that appeared in the Olympics. It is the only place that maintains, nurtures and grows British cycling. For over a sixth of the British population who live in and around London. The lap is just over 11 kilometres for the road section, and there is a concept called the 3LC or the 3-lap challenge, which is to do 3 laps in less than an hour, and that's 20 minutes a lap, obviously. So now I'm sure you're glad we got the basic math out of the way. We get to the more fun maths of how fast can you do it in? Well, my record is only 19.6 minutes for a single lap, which means I only scrape past the 3-lap challenge. The record allegedly is from the ex-pro cyclist David Miller, where he did it in just over 13 minutes. But bizarrely, they made him quieten that down and remove it and not talk about it, because it went over the speed limit, which is 20 miles an hour or 36 kilometres an hour, which is ridiculous because by my calculations, I've looked, and on a daily basis, hundreds of cars go round this track at way faster than his average speed. But that doesn't seem to be an issue. One cyclist does it, a pro cyclist, and suddenly a big hoo-ha. But this is the world we live in, and the world that we need to change, as cycling is clearly the future of transport in major cities. And Richmond Park, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I'm concerned that policymakers should be concerned, is a key part of enabling and maintaining London as a sustainable travel city. And in case you're wondering, I am now doing the park speed limit again after the hill, and this car clearly overtook me at what you can calculate, if you want to do the maths, is faster than the David Miller record lap. And it happens day in, day out.
Hey, darling.
This is where I worked out very quickly that the Strada was a fast bike. I knew for ages I was losing time on this hill, and instantly when I got this bike in October off season, I posted PR after PR, faster than the Shiv, faster than the tarmac, faster than any bike I'd ever done it on, due to a unique combination of its stiffness, maybe its aero, or just the fact that it makes you want to get out of the saddle and ride faster. There's a Freudian there somewhere with a salad, but it's a fast bike. This is where I want to bust another myth. In a lot of the forums, when 3T released the 9 to 32, many people said that you wouldn't be able to put any significant power down on a 9-tooth rear. And even SRAM in some of the Facebook comments have said that a 9-tooth cassette is inefficient. And it may be. I have no doubt that a 9-tooth is probably more inefficient than a 10-tooth, and in turn a 10-tooth is less efficient than an 11-tooth. But the fact of the matter is that here the variance doesn't matter, in that my power output varies from around 800 watts on a bad day, and I can kick out a peak of 1,000 watts on a good day. It's a significant power difference. The fact of the matter is that I've used both the 3T cassettes and a General Leonardi 9-tooth cassette with a 40, 42 and 44 and 46 and a 50 front chainring, and managed to consistently get PRs over using 10-tooth and 11-tooth rears. And I have 10 years of data on this hill, and 10 years of data which go back to when I was a much fitter, a much younger person. So honestly, it really doesn't matter. You know, the amount of power that you can output varies much more than the inefficiencies. of a 9-tooth cassette, and the fact or the accusation that it will jump is just not true.